Childhood by Marcus Natten. Marcus Natten was a Norwegian poet. In his poem Childhood, he tries to find out the moment when he lost his childhood. He wonders when and where he lost his childhood. In this quest to find the moment he grew up, he highlights that he lost innocence and faith as he gained rational individuality. He believes that he has lost the innocence and purity of his childhood to some unknown and unforgettable place. Through his poem, the readers are confronted with the question as to when and where have we lost our childhood. The answers lead to self-discovery. The poet recalls a number of stages when his thoughts and perceptions about the world and people changed. He tries to identify that one particular stage or time when he lost his childhood and stepped into adulthood. He is trying to realize the age when he lost his childhood to find out the time when he became mature enough to understand the worldly things. So he kept saying, "When did my childhood go?" He feels a sense of nostalgia for the lost childhood and finally settles down with the idea that it has gone to some forgotten place and that place could only be found in an infant's innocent face. He pondered deeply upon the spiritual questions of life and ultimately realized that his childhood days were finally gone down into the past of eternity forever and would never return. Childhood would now only remain in his memories. He exhibits his curiosity to know the time when an individual ceases to be a child. The process of growing up from a child to an adolescent and finally an adult is an inevitable one. There is no line of demarcation between the various stages of life. The poet begins the poem by putting forth this question to himself. He wonders when did his childhood leave him and where could it be found now? When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography and therefore could not be? Was that the day? The poet is in the quest to ascertain when he lost his childhood. He demarcated his childhood and adolescence to that time of his age when he turned 11. He makes an attempt to find out the answer to his own question. While reasoning out, he shifts his focus from his physical age to the time when he started gaining mental maturity. Perhaps it was the day on which he realized that the theories of heaven and hell that he had been taught about since his youngest years had no factual truth behind them. As he matures, he understands that they do not really exist in this world. They are only imaginary places. Education makes the poet question his faith and look at the world much more rationally and with more of reason and logic. He realizes that he might have lost his childhood when he gained this rational outlook towards his surroundings. When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love, but did not act so lovingly. Was that the day?
Created using Powtoon.